Girl, this story is not just heartbreaking, it's like a mystery movie you didn't ask to star in. Let's talk about Malcolm Jamal Warner. You know, the Malcolm, the man so many of us grew up watching, loving, laughing with, and now he's gone. Just gone. On what should have been a cute little vacation with his daughter in Costa Rica, a beach trip, a daddy-daughter getaway. And instead, we're sitting here trying to piece together what the hell really happened. And let me tell you, the way it all went down, baby, it's giving something ain't right. So picture this, Malcolm, smiling, relaxed, a flower in his hair. A flower his daughter gave him for her birthday. He's filming a video, being sweet, being funny, saying there's always a reason to smile. It was pure joy, pure peace. But just hours later, that smile, gone. For good, just like that. The official story? He died trying to save his daughter from drowning. Heartbreaking, yes, a hero's goodbye, but hold up. Then came the twist. Authorities came out and said, actually, the daughter wasn't even in the water. Huh? Like, what? Now folks online are spinning, things are not adding up, and then it gets worse. Less than 24 hours after Malcolm died, not a day, not even time for the family to grieve, his wife allegedly moved millions of dollars worth of assets straight into her name. We're talking about $12 million. That's not mourning, that's maneuvering. And sis, if that wasn't messy enough, she reportedly didn't even let their daughter say goodbye to her father. Like, you're gonna deny an 8-year-old that final goodbye? Chile. The internet didn't take that sitting down. And then out of nowhere, boom! Regina King enters the chat. Yup, that Regina King, the woman who once loved Malcolm, the woman he dumped on Valentine's Day. I wish I was making that up. Who even does that? Sent her flowers with a note saying, I still love you, after breaking up with her on the most romantic day of the year. Sir, please. And guess what? Regina didn't owe anybody a single word. Not a tweet, not a post, nothing. But when she did speak, calm, collected, elegant, but underneath, you could feel the fire. Because let's not forget, Regina is the same woman who lost her only son, her baby. And now, after all that pain, she's back in the spotlight, this time surrounded by whispers and theories and questions about Malcolm's death. Some people believe Malcolm was sitting on something huge, some kind of explosive information, something that certain powerful folks did not want getting out. And there's one word that keeps floating around, the piles. Allegedly, he had files, receipts, the kind that could destroy people. So now it's not just about how Malcolm died, it's about why. And most importantly, who wanted him gone. Let me tell you something, the ocean may not lie, but baby, the people standing on the shore, they sure do. Because the waves in Costa Rica didn't just steal a man, they may have buried the truth. A man full of love, light, and wisdom, gone in a blink during a vacation with his daughter. At first glance, it's just a tragic headline. But when you peel it back, baby, it smells like cover-up, and that final video, it still haunts people. Malcolm with a flower in his hair saying, life is lifing right now, there's always a reason to smile. Like he knew something was coming. Then boom, official reports claim he drowned after getting caught in a rip current. But witnesses? Oh, witnesses are saying a whole other story. People on that beach are telling the truth. Malcolm ran into the water to save his daughter. She was being pulled by the current and he fought with everything in him to reach her. The Red Cross was even there, treated the daughter on the beach. So why would the officials say she wasn't in the water? Who are they trying to protect? It's not even speculation anymore. A police chief straight up said it. He saw it all. He was there. He talked to the Red Cross. He confirmed that Malcolm rushed into the ocean for his daughter. That wasn't just some man going for a swim. That was a father's final act of love. And yet, the story they're feeding us? It's not that. It's neat, it's polished, it's clean. Too clean. And just when it couldn't get more suspicious, here comes the wife again, allegedly within a day, not to mourn, not to plan a funeral, not to console her grieving child. She calls up a lawyer and makes herself the sole beneficiary of Malcolm's entire estate. Boom, $12 million just like that. And she didn't stop there. Reportedly, she refused an autopsy. No deep look into what really happened. Just wrap it up, cremate him, and move on. Quietly, coldly, suspiciously. And people are side-eyeing hard. Fans, friends, strangers. Everyone's asking, what is she hiding? And just as the world starts to buzz, Regina King, Queen of Grace under pressure, steps back into this tragic picture. A name that still makes people stop scrolling. And let me tell you, her story with Malcolm? It was deep. When they got together, people were rooting for them. Two Black Hollywood icons. It felt like destiny. But then, Valentine's Day came, and Regina's whole world shattered. He left. No warning, no closure, just poof, gone. And the pain didn't end there. Years later, Regina's only son, the light of her life, died by suicide. That pain? No words for it. No parent should ever have to bury their child. And yet, Regina stood tall. In her first interview after that unimaginable loss, she didn't speak with bitterness. She spoke with love, with grief, with a kind of strength that doesn't even feel human. She said, "Grief is love with no place to go." And now, with Malcolm gone, those words, they cut even deeper. When she finally broke her silence about Malcolm's death, it wasn't a dragged-out statement or a messy clapback. It was a photo, Malcolm on his motorcycle. The caption? Some people leave a lasting imprint, not just for who they were, but for the energy they carried. No shade, no drama, just pain. Real, raw pain. Then she posted again, "Pride and power." And just like that, her quiet grief screamed louder than any headline. Because behind those simple words, there's a story, a love that ended without warning, a heartbreak that never got closure, a woman still haunted by unanswered questions. And now people are asking, why did Malcolm really leave her? Why did their love, so beautiful, so solid, suddenly vanish? Was it fear, or was it something bigger? Because just before he died, rumors were flying that Malcolm was about to expose something big, something called the Piles, allegedly files he was preparing to go public with, and then suddenly, he's gone. Coincidence? Maybe. But if you've been paying attention, this is a pattern. We've seen it before. Big names, sudden deaths, sealed reports, silenced voices.
Will never go away. It'll always be with me. And I think I saw somewhere the sadness is a reminder of how much he means to me. Just feel like, I did something right in life.
Because this wasn't just a tragic accident on some beach. This was a man who might have been silenced before he could speak, who goes from laughing in a flower crown to a casket in a matter of hours. That's not normal. That's not coincidence. That's suspicious. And the more people dig, the more bizarre it gets. The whole drowning story? It's full of holes. First, they said he went in to save his daughter. Then they claimed she wasn't even in the water. But eyewitnesses? They're painting a whole other picture. They say he was in that water fighting for his baby girl. One man even said he saw the Red Cross treat her right there on the beach. She was crying, scared, soaking wet, because she had been pulled under. So who's lying? The agency in charge, OIJ, insists she was never in danger. But guess what? Their own local police chief contradicted them. He said flat out, Malcolm went into the water to save his daughter. He talked to the Red Cross himself. So why is that not the official story? It feels like they're trying to erase the heroism, erase the fight, erase the truth. Because if Malcolm died saving his daughter, he's a hero. And that kind of narrative brings attention. It brings scrutiny. But if he just drowned while swimming, that's easier to brush away. Clean, quiet, convenient. And let's talk about the wife again. Because girl, if this ain't shady, I don't know what is. Less than 24 hours. That's how fast she allegedly moved to put all of Malcolm's estate under her name. $12 million. And no autopsy, no memorial planning, no funeral statements. Just paperwork and power plays. And allegedly, this part hurts the most, she didn't even let their daughter say goodbye to her dad. No last hug, no goodbye kiss, just nothing. And who demands no autopsy when a healthy man drowns under suspicious circumstances? That's not grief. That's control. That's fear. Like someone wanted that door slammed shut before anyone could even peek in. And people noticed. Oh, people noticed. This wasn't just some celebrity drama. This was Theo Huxtable. This was a man who helped raise a whole generation. His death shook people. And the silence that followed, it was loud. Too loud. And then, as if the universe couldn't handle more, Regina King quietly speaks. Not with accusations, not with drama, just heartbreak. She knew Malcolm deeply. She loved him, and she lost him once already. Remember, he left her on Valentine's Day. No fight, no warning, just dipped. Regina said in an old interview, "I don't have a favorite Valentine's memory. Someone broke up with me on Valentine's Day, and that someone was Malcolm." Sent her flowers after, trying to soften the blow. She threw them in the trash, because when your heart shatters like that, flowers don't fix a thing. And then years later, she loses her only son, her entire world. That kind of pain doesn't go away. It just finds new ways to sit in your chest. So when she posted about Malcolm, it was pure emotion. No clout chasing, no media spin, just a raw tribute. A man on a motorcycle. A caption that read, "Some people leave a lasting imprint, not just for who they were, but for the energy they carried." Then two simple words, "Ride and power." That was it. No drama, just soul.
Long believed to be true, but realized wasn't.
Well, as one of the main opponents of the Illuminati, I always wanted to know what information they had that we didn't.
Now we finally have an update on the drowning death of Malcolm Jamal Warner. Now, according to ABC7, they stated that Malcolm Jamal Warner had drowned while he was on vacation in Costa Rica. Now, the article goes on to say that Warner had drowned off the coast of Costa Rica on Sunday.
Life, it's fragile, and in the blink of an eye,
you never know.
You never know. So speaking of legacy, what do you hope that your legacy is going to be?
There is part of me that I will be able to leave this earth knowing and people knowing that I was a good person.
I spent, so much of the early part of my life listening to, like being celebrated on one hand, but paying way too much attention to the naysaying.
These are the first things we saw when we pulled up to the beach. Signs in Spanish and English warning people about potentially hazardous conditions. This sign even giving a roadmap for how to...
But here's where it gets wild. People are starting to wonder, was Regina's post just grief, or was it more? Because before Malcolm died, the rumors were heating up that he was getting ready to go public with something, that he had receipts, not just gossip, but documents, files, something being whispered about all over the internet now. The piles. And honey, people say what was in those piles could ruin lives, entertainment names, politicians, even deeper than that. Power, money, networks, and secrets nobody dares to say out loud. Was Malcolm sitting on all of that? Was he scared? Was that video with his daughter, the smile, the laughter? Was that his way of leaving us a clue? A final moment of peace before all hell broke loose? Because after he posted that video, it was over. Hours later, he was gone. And everything that followed? Silence. No investigation, no deep dive, just waves, a press release, and then... crickets. It's almost like someone wanted the world to forget. But we haven't. We're not forgetting. We're connecting the dots. Because now we've got a timeline that stinks to high heaven. Witnesses say he was saving his daughter. Officials say she wasn't in the water. His wife allegedly locks down his money within hours, refuses an autopsy, then pushes for cremation ASAP, before anything could be looked into. No second opinion. No time for truth to surface. Just ash. And let's not forget, Regina. She's been through the fire. And when she spoke, her words weren't just grief. They were weight. They were loaded. They felt like someone who knows the full story, but can't say it yet. Maybe Regina saw something in Malcolm. Maybe she knew what he was working on. Maybe that breakup wasn't about their love, but about fear. Maybe he was trying to protect her by pushing her away. Maybe that quiet post was her way of saying, I know, I still care, and this ain't right. And while the world was still trying to make sense of everything, social media exploded. Reddit threads lit up. Twitter was a mess. Everyone, from fans to casual followers, was asking the same chilling questions. Why weren't there lifeguards on that beach that day? Why did rescue teams reportedly get redirected to other locations around the same time? Why did the Costa Rican authorities release a version of events that people on the ground said was completely false? And the most eerie question of all, what exactly are the piles? Why do the witness reports not match the official story? Why the rush to cremate? Why was there allegedly a blackout on media coverage? And most of all, what are the piles?